Well, this week brought a little bit of everything. We picked up baby chicks, found a truckload of free pallet wood, and got our very first beam installed on the tiny home foundation. I'll show you what we've spent so far, where things are headed next, and a couple of lessons that I'm learning as we go. 1 week and 1 paycheck at a time. Hey y'all, I'm Kevin from AskPawPaw. We're building a tiny home for my daughter and grandson, completely from scratch, and we're doing it on a paycheck budget, 1 step at a time. This video is part of a new weekly series I'm calling This Week on the Porch. If you can't catch the full lives, this is a quick way to follow along with our build, the budget, and everything else happening around here, like baby chicks, and now a new truck. Yep, I finally bought a truck. Not new, but new to me, and it's already making things way easier. Y'all, I've been watching Facebook Marketplace and local lots for months, but everything under 10 grand either had 300,000 miles, no bed, or more rust than I was willing to mess with. My son-in-law found this one for me, and it just felt right. I talked it over with my wife, I ran the VIN number, I checked the service history, and I pulled the trigger. For me, this isn't just a truck, it's freedom. It means I don't have to wait to borrow someone's trailer or coordinate schedules just to go grab lumber or concrete. And it opens the doors for little weekend getaways with our cargo camper too. We hauled concrete blocks with it during last week's live, and just this week we loaded it down with some free lumber that I'll tell y'all about in a second. It's a 2011 F-150, it's in good shape, low miles for the year, and now I can pick up materials without begging a friend or renting a trailer every time. I haven't named it yet, but it's earned its place already. Now let me tell you about this pallet wood haul. There's a pallet manufacturer nearby, and they sometimes stack seconds and scrap wood by the road for the community to come get for free. My wife and I drove by this week and we saw several stacks of cut, unused pallet wood. You better believe we pulled over, loaded the truck up, and we're planning to use this to build the chicken coop. On top of that, my daughter and son-in-law had a fence installed, and they asked the contractors to leave all the extra 2x4s and 2x6s. That's lumber now that's going to be ours to use too. If you're building on a budget, this is the kind of thing that you watch for. Free and left over doesn't mean that it's junk, it means opportunity. Keep your eyes open for free or scrap wood in your area. We also welcomed 6 new additions to the family, our first batch of backyard chickens. 3 black Australorps and 3 light Brahmas, all pullets. They're already showing some personality. We've talked about getting chickens for years, but I didn't want to jump in until we had the space and the time to care for them right. We haven't had chickens since 1999 when I bought my infamous Y2K chickens. Who remembers Y2K? I just knew I needed to be prepared, so I went in with my father-in-law and we ordered 100 chicks from Murray McMurray Hatchery. That was an interesting adventure. The grandkids are already obsessed with these new chicks. Emmett calls them his nuggets, which I'm not sure is a good sign for their long-term future. But honestly, this is part of a bigger plan to move towards sustainability. Eggs, compost, pest control, it's all part of the same system we're trying to build here. We got a brooder box and a chicken pen off of Amazon to get things rolling, and we've got big plans to build a real coop soon. We're not just building a house, we're building a little life out here. And those eggs, well, hopefully they're coming this spring. Back to the build. Last weekend's live was a big one. We got the first beam placed across our concrete blocks, and that meant laying out the moisture barrier, checking for level, and finally dropping the 6x6 beam in place. It might not sound like much, but for me, it was the first real visible proof that this thing is happening. I'm going to lay, or attempt to lay, the beam on this middle row here, because that's kind of where we started, was this middle row. And what I want to do is go ahead and get the beam set in place, and that way I can do the next beam when I get the time, and I'm going to make sure that they all are level and at the proper height. That's what I'm going to do today. I bought blocks, and I got 8 of the 8x16 blocks, concrete blocks here, and then 8 of the 4x16 cap blocks to put on those last 4 pads. As you see, I got some right here that I had already in the yard. So I'm going to move those blocks and put them in place. There we go. What do y'all think about that? I'm gonna carry y'all out here and show you. Let me turn you around. There we go. Show you what we got up close and personal here. So that's the idea. We've got a concrete block there, 2 by 2, 1 foot thick, that I poured with a form. There's the forms we'll be using next. And then on top of that, I'm stacking 2 8 by 16 blocks and then 2 4 by 16 cap blocks on top of that. And that will make the base through there for my beam to sit on. You know what we say in surgery? The saying in surgery is the enemy of good is better. So I don't know if you ever heard that. Keep trying to make it better, and you'll end up taking away the good. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a moisture barrier on top of the concrete. Because now I'm no expert, but just from what I've researched and been told by people that are way smarter than me, concrete naturally will wick moisture. And so even if your concrete's not wet, it will draw moisture from the ground, supposedly, from what I've been told. And I don't want my beam, you don't want wood touching concrete. That's the idea. So long story short, we want to put something between our beam and our concrete, because our beam, of course, is going to be a 6 by 6 post. It's going to be wood. So what I'm doing, and I'll spin you guys around just for a second and show you. This is a ice and water underlayment that you would use, a roofer would use underneath shingled roof. As an extra moisture barrier. And I know nothing about this stuff. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a roofer. I've never even, well, I take that back. I did shingle a little shed one time in my backyard. But there's what we're looking at. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's almost like the old tar paper, but this has a textured surface. And then on the bottom, it's sticky. And so what I'm gonna need is a 16 by 16 piece roughly. Let's see what we got here. This is, I think it's a 36, yeah. This is 36 inches. And it ain't gotta be perfect. It ain't gotta be perfect. Because like I said, as long as it covers the concrete where the beam is gonna be sitting. But I'm gonna go ahead. Let's see, I need me a flat edge under this. What I'm gonna do is make a whole bunch of noise. Let's see. I'm gonna throw me something to cut on. And like I said, it ain't gotta be perfect. But I'm gonna put me a board underneath it to cut on. I'm gonna get me a straight edge on top here. I'm gonna get me roughly 16 inches. That's pretty close. It ain't gotta be perfect. Let's see how easy this cuts. I tell you what, if you don't have one of these, you need to have you 2 or 3 of them. These are great. Little utility knife, razor blade knives, and they lock. So you can lock them open, use them, and then close them just like a pocket knife. They got the little hanger on the side. Lowe's had these on sale the other day during their Labor Day sale, and I got 3 of them for like $14, and I picked up a 3-pack and threw one in each of my toolboxes and everywhere else I could find to put them. All right, look at there, folks. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut pieces like that. This is about 36 inches, so I'm just going to fold it in half. That might make it about 18 instead of 16, but that's close enough for what we're doing. And then I'm just going to take it and score along that fold. And let's see what that does. I'm going to bring y'all with me. Should we do this very first one or the very last one? I think I'm going to work my way back. It's like eating your broccoli first, right? But here's the idea. I'm going to peel that old sticky off. I'm going to throw this up here so it's covering all that block. And I might even push the corners down a little bit. There we go. It's stuck. What y'all think about that? Now we have a moisture barrier between the concrete and the beam where it's going to be. So then another good thing about using this underlayment like this is if I have to do any fine leveling, little fine adjustments, and I need to level just a little bit, you can stack this stuff up 3 or 4 sheets high, and add you a little 1/8 of an inch to maybe a 1/4 inch if you just need to fine level. Oh, hun, you are just in time. You was watching me? Yeah. Oh, on YouTube? Well, you're just in time to help me carry some big old posts. Ain't that exciting? Yeah. You want to put some of these on? You interested? So look, it's got a sticky side. You was watching me. She was watching me. She knows how it goes. You hear that? She's smarter than I am, y'all. Don't tell her I said that.
Right there?
Huh?
Right
yeah,
there?
as long as it's covered good, yeah.
It's covered.
Yeah, I made them a little big because I just didn't want to struggle with it. That's it. Good job. Yay! Y'all everybody give Angela a hand. What a good job. I'm picking on her. I tell you what, I've always said, it's a lazy man who can't find his wife a second job. Y'all see how I just Tom Sawyered her? I just told her how fun it would be. And then I can kick back. No, she's a hard worker. She likes doing stuff. Like I do. We like keeping busy. Yeah, there we go. There we go, y'all. We've got all the blocks on. All the blocks on. And all the moisture barriers on. So now we're ready to set our beams. This could be interesting, y'all. So we're gonna go get the posts. All right, here we come. Flip y'all around. They just like, come on, let's go. Don't stop. Let's go to the middle. Yeah, this next to the last one here. So, to answer y'all's questions, if you can see me, but here's the plan. Let's see if I can get y'all where y'all can see. All right. I know the sun's pretty bright out here, and I can't tell how well you can see, but hopefully you can. So here's the plan. I've got 2x6, 4 foot long. I bought 8-footers and cut them in half. And if you don't know, a 6x6 post is 5.5 inches nominal, or 5.5 inches, and so is a 2x6. So if y'all can see that, I'll scoot it down a little bit. There we go. So 2x6 is the same size as a 6x6 post. They're both 5.5 inches, roughly. So that's my plan. Can you fix that or adjust it to me? Plan is to take 2 4-foot 2x6s, just like so. So here's the idea, if you can see this. 2 4-foot 2x6s on either side of the joints. And I'm going to use liquid nails, construction adhesive, and I'm going to glue them together. And then, can you grab one of those? Yeah. So I'm going to glue them together with liquid nails.
That's hot.
And then I'm going to use these awesome structural screws that are 5 1/8 inch, I think, long.
5, 6,
Yeah, they're 5/16 by 5 1/8 inch long structural screws made for this sort of thing. And so the idea is I'm going to glue that with construction adhesive, liquid nails. Then I'm going to put several of these in on each side, and hopefully that should be a little even overkill. All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead.
Square like
Well, actually, I want to find where it's crowning. And I want to put the crown up, and yeah, I'm going to put the crown up, and I want to put the crown out, like so.
Yeah.
So there, just run me a really good bead. Just go back and forth. Like, yep, and then do that one the same way right there. Yep, that's right. Just like that. That should give us a really good crawl space. Plenty of room. Because you got to remember, the floor is going to sit on top of this. So the floor actually won't start till up here. That should give me a lot of room to get under there and work if I need to. I hope it's going to work out for us. I hope I'm doing things right. At least good enough for what we're doing. I think it's going to be a pretty solid foundation. I really feel like it is for what we're doing. And I know it's going to be really exciting when we get the floor put in and start building walls, especially for my daughter and grandson. That's going to be really neat for them to have a place of their own. And You know, it may take us a while. It may take us a year to get it done. I don't know. But the great thing is when we get it done, it'll be paid for. So I think that's going to be worth it. I think a little bit of patience is going to pay off. I'll be building the second of 3 beams this weekend, and once we've got all 3 in place, then we can start thinking about floor framing. Now let's talk budget. I updated our public tracker this week. You can check it out in the link below. That includes some lumber, the blocks, and the moisture barrier. We're still well within our goal of staying under $20,000 total, and every bit of free wood, borrowed tool, and creative planning helps keep that number down. And that's the kind of challenge that I enjoy. Looking at this budget sheet every week keeps me grounded. It's real easy to start saying, well, I could just buy this and make it easier. But then I remember if we stay focused and patient, we walk away from this whole thing debt-free. And that's not just a money decision, it's a freedom decision. I've lived with debt, trust me. I've laid awake thinking about bills, and this time we're building something better. And every free board, every smart choice brings us one step closer to that. Coming up, I'll be pouring a couple more pads and finishing the second beam. I'm hoping that the weather stays clear enough to make some real progress, and if I can get far enough ahead, I might even start laying out the coop project on the side. If you've got any advice for chicken coop design, hey, I'd love to hear it, and please drop them down in the comments. Before I go, I just want to thank everyone who's been showing up in the comments and in the live chat and leaving real encouraging comments, and I appreciate that, every one of you. You don't know how much that it means to hear from y'all. I want to give y'all a little porch tip of the week, okay? If you're building on a budget, try searching Facebook Marketplace and using terms like leftover lumber or pallet wood or free building materials. Set alerts and check early in the morning. That's how that I've found a lot of hidden gems. Also check with your local fencing companies because they oftentimes throw away their cutoffs or have extras from jobs that they just want to get rid of, like my daughter had. And you never know what's heading to the dumpster unless you ask. It's definitely been a full week, a real week, one where the progress was slow but meaningful. And that's the spirit of this build, right? Do what you can with what you have and trust that over time it'll add up to something beautiful. If you want to see the full live where we placed the first beam, I'll link that down below. And you can also grab the free budget tracker or join our porch community if you're walking a similar path to what we're doing and you want to hang out with other good folks. Until next time, y'all take care, and I'll see you next week on the porch.